Lesson number 10, Descriptive Measures. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to recall various relevant descriptive measures, compute the measures of central tendency and measures of dispersion of a dataset, and interpret the resulting figures after applying different descriptive measures. Data is also summarized using descriptive measures focusing on, for example, central tendency. When we say central tendency, we're referring to the central value sa pag-given dataset, yung gitna, dispersion, the variability of the scores from the center, from the mean. It tells how close or scattered the data from the mean, agwat sa gitna, relative position, the rank of the scores, data score shape, the shape of the frequency distribution, how we can draw the scores, what's their shape, then correlation, the relationship between variables. Measures of central tendency. Summary measures that attempt to describe a whole set of data with single values that represent the middle or center of the data set. We have three common types of measures of central tendency: the mean, the median, and the mode. When we say the mean, it is the sum of the value of each observation in the dataset divided by the number of observations. It is simply called average. When we say average, just add all the numbers, then divided by the given numbers. Then median, it is the midpoint of a data array. So, ihilala mo yung mga scores mo pahalang, then you will arrange from lowest to highest or highest to lowest. Then kukunin mo yung gitna. It can be one value or two values, but if it appears two values, you need to get the average of that middle values. Mode, that is the most frequent occurring value in a data set. It is the value that appears most often in the data. So, yung madalas maulit. Then, weighted mean, additional for measures of central tendency, but it's not a measure of central tendency. It is similar to an ordinary mean, except that instead of each of the data points contributing equally to the final value, some data points contribute more than others. What's the difference between weighted mean and arithmetic mean? Number one, mean or average is also called arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean, we're dealing with equally distributed values, while weighted mean, we're dealing with not equally distributed or represented values. So, pag mean, balance ang given scores mo. Pag weighted mean, not balance. Unbalanced scores. Consider the following satisfaction level ratings for 35 people. So, we have here a raw data, not yet organized. Then, each value can be entered in a spreadsheet like MS Excel. So, here is a screenshot of the computation of the measures of central tendency using Excel. So, how are we going to compute this? Let us show this in actual using MS Excel. So, we have here our 35 satisfaction level ratings of people. It's written from cell 1A, A1 to A35. Then, after that, in cell C1 to 35, I arrange them from highest to lowest using this one, sort filter. Then, afterwards, we will compute the mean, median, and mode. How to compute for the mean? Click, press or type equal sign, then type average, then drag the values from A1, cell A1 to cell 35, then click enter. So that's your mean. Then median, click equals, then type median, again highlight or drag the values from A1 to A35 cells, click enter. So that's your median. For mode, type equal sign, then click mode or type mode, then the formula will appear, then drag again from A1 cell to A35 cell, then equals. But if you notice, our mode is not just 9. If you will count the number of nines here, so let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7. So that's the maximum number of count for 9. So that's the most frequent value, not just 9, but also 10. Let's count the number of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it appears 7 counts also, and even 12. So we have 3 modes that are 9, 10, and 12. So we have an ungrouped frequency distribution, which is trimodal. Bakit siya trimodal? Kasi tatlo yung numbers na nauulit at same yung kanilang pagkaulit. Next. How are we going to interpret this average? So, paano natin siya interpret? This mean, median, and mode. So, for mean, you can write it like this. The arithmetic mean is equal to 10.43, which means that the average satisfaction level ratings of 35 people is 10.43. I round it off already up to 2 decimal places or to the nearest hundreds. For median, the result is 10. So we can say that the median is equal to 10. The result of the survey reveals that 17 people recorded satisfaction level ratings higher than 10, and the other 17 people recorded satisfaction level ratings lower than 10. For the mode, we have 3 answers for the mode, 9, 10, and 12. We can say now that the computed ungrouped data presents a trimodal distribution of the satisfaction level ratings of 35 people. The most frequent ratings of the people are 9, 10, and 12. Let's proceed to weighted mean. This is used to find the mean of values of the dataset that are not equally represented. The weighted average can be found by multiplying the value by its corresponding weight and dividing the sum of the products by the sum of their weights. We have this problem. A recent survey of a new cola reported the following percentages of people who like the taste of the cola. Find the weighted mean of the percentages. So if you notice in our table, we have a total of 4,800 respondents from different areas. So we have 3 areas, area 1, 2, and 3. Then the majority of the respondents came from area 2 with 3,000, followed by 1,000 from area 1 and 800 from area 3. And then in our second column, we have there the rates of people who favored the taste of the new cola. And it was found out that majority of the respondents who preferred or who liked the taste of the cola came from area 3 with 50%. But we just have 800 respondents from that area. So 50% of 800 is 400. Then 40% came from or liked the taste of the new cola from area 1 with 1,000 respondents. So 40% of 1,000 is 400. Then, 30% of the respondents from area 2 like the taste of the cola. So, 30% of 3,000 is 900. So, all in all, 900 plus 400, 1,300. Then, plus 400 again, 1,700. Then, as we compute the weighted mean, here is our result. So the weighted mean, the formula is weighted mean is equal to the summation of weights times the number of respondents from each area divided by the sigma or total weights, the sum of all the rates. Then, as you perform the formula, you found out that 1,416.67 estimated as 1,417 like the taste of the new cola from the 3 areas with a total of 4,800 respondents. That's it. Another example of weighted mean, we have here 5-point Likert scale, wherein 5 is the highest, excellent, 4 very good, 3 good, 2 fair, 1 poor. The title of our research paper, for example, factors affecting customer satisfaction in the fast food chain, wherein I have here 5 factors, indicators, or predictors, which are taste, price, service, texture, environment. And then we have there the scale, 1 to 5, then the total, then the weighted mean, then the interpretation. And at the bottom, the grand mean or total mean, as we get the average of all the weighted means from the 5 factors provided. So how are we going to perform this using Excel? So in Excel, in here, I just use taste, price, and service as my example. We have a total of 50 respondents. Let's say, for example, for taste, out of 50 respondents, 40 answered 1 with an interpretation of poor. So, hindi okay yung taste ng mga pagkain sa fast food. Then, 5 answered 2, fair. Then, 3 answered good. 2 answered very good. And no one answered excellent. With a total of 50 respondents. Then, per price, majority answered poor with 30 respondents who answered 1. And even service, majority answered poor with 45 respondents. So it means that's the meaning of weighted mean, wherein the data or the scores are not equally distributed. Kasi more likely our scores are compressing at the left side. Dun sila sa mabababa. Or negative feedback or response. How are we going to compute the weighted mean? So click, type equals, click this cell, B2. First, open parentheses, click this cell, B2, times the answer scale of 1, then plus, click this cell, C2, times the scale of 2. All the scales are fixed, constants, then plus 3, times who answered 3 plus E2 cell times 4, then plus no one answered 5 for the taste. Click F2 cell times 5. Close parentheses, then divided by the total number of respondents, which is 50. Yan. So the weighted mean for that taste, for the taste is 1.34. So, drag it downward. So, as you interpret the result means, look at the interpretation or description at the bottom. So, 1.34 means, as you round up to the nearest whole number, that's 1. Equivalent is 4. Poor. Also, the rest, poor interpretation. Poor. Then, to get the grand mean, just get the average of all the weighted means. So, click, type average, then drag all the values. That's the grand mean. So, as you interpret again, the interpretation is poor. That's it. That's how you use weighted mean in research paper. More likely, this is being used in college paper for descriptive if you want to just describe your data. So, ito yung ginagamit. Next. Let's proceed to another measures, common measures for descriptive measures in statistics, which is measures of dispersion or variability. It tells how much the observations spread out from the mean. The higher the variability, the more dispersed are the observation. The lower it is, the more consistent are the observation. So, it means sa Tagalog, pag mas malaki yung na-compute mo na value para sa variance or standard deviation, kasi they are the common types of the measures of dispersion, it means na mas spread sa gitna, sa mean, sa average yung mga scores. The smaller the value you computed for the variance standard deviations or for measure of dispersion, it means that the data are more close from the mean. Pag mas malaki na compute na value, mas magkakalayo sa gitna. Pag mas maliit yung na compute na value, mas magkakalapit sila sa gitna. So, mas nagko-compress sila pag lumiliit yung value ng variance. So we have three common types of variance that are the range, the standard deviation, and the variance itself. So if we see the range, that is just the difference between the highest and the lowest values in a set. So agwat ng mataas sa mababa. Yun that already in frequency distribution. Then in standard deviation, it tells how close or scattered the data from the mean. So here is our formula. And to compute for the variance, we will just square the answer in standard deviation. Using the data on satisfaction level ratings for 35 people above or below, the following screenshot shows the range, the standard deviation, and the variance. So ayan. How are you going to compute the range, standard deviation, variance in MS Excel? Here, let's first get the highest score. Type equals, then type max. Click the formula. Drag your data from A1, cell A1 to cell 35. Then click enter. Then for lowest score, type equals, type mean. Click the formula. Drag your data scores from A1 to A35 again. So that's your lowest score, and the compute for the range, let's get the difference of the highest and the lowest score. So click this cell, then minus, click this cell, and that's the range. For standard deviation, type STDEV. That's the shortcut formula in Excel. So then drag again your data values from A1, cell A1 to cell 35. Then click equals. That's your standard deviation. And then for variance, type var. Then afterwards, drag again the 35 satisfaction level ratings. So we finally have all our answers for measures of dispersion. So the range is 7, the standard deviation is 1.93, and the variance is 3.72. Turning back to the screenshot Excel. So here are all the answers. So how to interpret the standard deviation? The standard deviation is 1.93, which means that the spread of the 35 satisfaction level ratings is 1.93. You may say also, if you want to interpret the range, you may just say the highest satisfaction level rating is 14 and the lowest satisfaction level rating is 7 with a range of 7. That's it. And also, you will not explain anymore the variance because we know variance and standard deviations are related to each other. Variance is computed by just squaring the standard deviation. So, standard deviation and variance referring to the homogeneity of the scores from the mean. The more homogeneous it is, the more the data are close from the mean. If it is heterogeneous or it's scattered from the mean, so you will get larger value. So that's the concept of measures of dispersion and variability. You also call that variation. Thank you, class. I hope you understand this. So study well. Good luck. Review.